we're moving on to the political segment because it's going to be long today, and we need to get this rolling. We need to get it rolling. So, Murph, let's hear about political segment, politics stuff. Do the thing because we got a lot of we do the stuff and things. We got a lot to talk about.
Well, for anybody that doesn't know, about 4-5 days ago, depending on what part of the world you're in, Russia invaded Ukraine, despite what they may call a special military operation to support Russian rebels in the Donbass area. It is an all-out invasion of Ukraine.
A special military operation.
Yes, that's what
special peacekeeping.
A special peacekeeping military operation.
Yeah.
So, in response to this,
with missiles.
Yeah, peacekeeping with missiles. That's how you keep the peace. You build more missiles than everybody else.
Scare tactics, right? Yeah.
Right.
And you got to make sure that a couple of them actually work. So, I mean, you got to fire off a couple of them in test fights.
Yeah, test flights. Yeah, it'll be fine.
Right. So, in response to this, the United Nations has imposed sanctions on the president of Russia, which is new. UN doesn't usually impose sanctions on a person. It's usually on a country or a standing army. But in this case, it's on Vladimir Putin specifically and some of his key cabinet members. And this includes the European Union, Japan, Australia, New Zealand, Taiwan, the United States, and the United Kingdom.
All right.
And on top of that, the United Kingdom has sent helmets, right? Didn't the UK send helmets?
No, that was Germany.
Right, that was Germany.
Well, since then, they have started sending armaments.
More,
yeah. But real quick, what kind of fucking sanctions can they pull on a person?
They're not going to pay their Netflix and
not many
anymore.
Most of them are financial sanctions.
Yeah,
they're freezing assets.
His personal assets? How are they doing that?
Yeah,
well, it's hard. It's hard. Yeah, it's hard because Putin has hid his money in a lot of different places, but they're stopping him. Yeah, it's hard. You wanna clip that?
Come on, Ray Riz. You gotta get that. It's hard.
But the European Union has said that they're holding the Kremlin accountable. They're freezing billions of dollars in assets from the Bank of Russia. And a lot of banks, which I haven't gotten a list yet, but a lot of banks are getting kicked off of SWIFT, which is an international messaging system they use for all banks to do international transactions. So there will be a list of banks in Russia that can no longer operate under SWIFT. Of course, there will also be banks in Russia that can still operate under SWIFT. So, in my opinion, if I'm Vladimir Putin and I rule Russia, I'll just use the banks that can still use SWIFT and not use the banks that can't use SWIFT. That'll be an easy decision, I think. And, of course, even if all the banks get taken off of SWIFT, then they still have cryptocurrency assets that they can use.
But it's also the NATO is freezing all of his personal bank accounts. So even if your bank is no longer on SWIFT, you cannot withdraw $400 billion out of one bank to put into another one.
Right, but he's already got a nest egg. I mean, we're talking about Vladimir Putin. Have you seen his his resort that he goes to go hang out? I mean, the dude's got. Yeah, he's fine. What I'm trying to say is it doesn't matter how many financial sanctions you put on Vladimir Putin. He's got so much money buried in the backyard that it's not going to make a fuck. Plus, he's already
you're
got...
right. Nasty, that Anonymous could probably make more of a difference than any government sanctions by shutting down the internet
everything
stuff.
For Russia.
Yeah,
you can probably black Russia down.
So, go ahead, Doc.
Well, no, I was going to go back and say, like, putting sanctions on the person instead of Moscow itself or Russia. like I still don't understand that.
Well, it reflects like who's the problem.
Well, we
Because
all
the
know who the
Russian
fucking
citizens-
problem is, but still
Why would they punish?
But 3/4 of Russia still believes that Ukraine should be part of Russia. So, like, I still feel like that's a problem.
Well, I mean, there's still sanctions that are going against Russia as a country, but a lot of sanctions are going towards Putin and the oligarchy that he manages and that helps him stay in power. There are people being targeted, and even Belarus in some countries like Australia is targeting some of its sanctions not only at Russia but also at Belarus because it helped instigate the aggression. You know,
It should
Russia
be.
did.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Like anybody that's helping out should be getting the boot as well. And this is also going to damage exports, oil exports from Russia and stuff like that, which is where a lot of countries over in Europe,
8% of our imported oil.
yeah, comes from Russia. That's like
Opal.
how many millions of barrels is that a day?
22 million on average per month come from
month?
Russia for the past year. Yes. Opal. I want to point out, I want to thank Opal. I even messaged her and thanked her for correcting me. I would never want anyone other than her to correct me. Like, it's such an honor to have a Grandmaster, motherfucking princess, Imperial Princess, Opal,
Yeah.
fucking correct me. I appreciate it.
I just want you to get your facts straight.
Yeah,
That's
see?
all.
Yeah, I appreciate it. I appreciate it.
Fucker.
Can someone play fucker? Yeah. Can we get a fucker in chat?
Yeah, I got you. Hold on.
Waiting. There we go.
Fucker.
Yep, fucker. It's like she was talking to you. But yeah. So now I can't remember the numbers exactly, but I do remember that motherfucking number very, very well. But it's like 22% come from Canada. Just slightly less of that came from actual Saudi Arabia, and then down from that was Mexico, and then the numbers kind of trickle throughout the world. But it was 8% from Russia was imported. But my big thing with that, this is kind of going off topic from the Ukraine thing, but back to us as the United States, is we should not be importing shit that we can make ourselves. We should be exporting energy, not importing.
Which is weird because we are exporting it, but we're also importing it.
Right.
Exactly.
It's weird.
Yeah.
I don't know why I'm not in charge of that stuff.
Yeah.
You know what? Like, I would be absolutely terrified to live in any other country if you were in charge of this one. Anyway, moving on. No. Like that was my big thing, is like I don't understand the personal sanctions. I guess I don't. If I knew more about his personal assets and how they would have anything to do with the rest of the world, then I could maybe understand the personal sanctions. But the sanctions that NATO are putting on, and like I was talking to you about the press conference from Biden and everything, I watched very carefully. I watched his face. Like, I'm really good at reading people's faces. And I watched his face as they were questioning him. And you could totally tell just by his face that so many were scripted by how fast he came back. That some of them were scripted. But some of the press that he don't like, I'm not going to mention names, but there's one man in particular that's a dumb fucker. Biden's words.
Right. I think I know exactly who you're talking about.
Yep. And that when he asked a question, that's when you saw Biden stammer and you saw his total demeanor just change. You know, you knew it wasn't scripted, but he was pretty much copying everything that NATO said, almost verbatim. Fucker, yeah. But yeah, so like, I mean, he didn't give out anything other than what NATO was already saying, which I've been watching NATO really close. I'm trying to share that through the podcast chat every time they update something. And then
one big thing about NATO is Article 5. And that's what I've been reading mostly about when it comes to reading. Article 5 in NATO is Give me just a second here. I got to pull it back up. Article 5 of NATO is also known as the collective defense, and it commits members of the treaty organization to protect each other. And from what I understand, this also includes cyber attacks. Yeah. So if Russia was to cyber attack one member of NATO, then all members of NATO could collectively go against Russia at this point in time. And it is an option, from what I understand, that they are thinking about implementing if Russia decides to do anything to any member of NATO whatsoever. And speaking of NATO, I think that Finland and Finland and another country, Poland, have recently been asked to join NATO, and Putin said if they try to join NATO, then they would get attacked as well. But I'm pretty sure
so that kind of goes against what he was saying originally about why he was attacking in the first place.
Right. Well, you know, when the fuck has he ever said anything that makes sense?
Makes sense to him.
Right. And to him alone.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I was looking through it while you were talking about it.
Right.
Yeah, we can see it on the stream.
Yeah, I know. I put it. Yeah.
Oh, I do have something else that I was going to talk about that has to do with this. While you're looking at that,
sure.
The governor of Utah came out yesterday.
You guys have a governor?
I'm kidding. And he said, we're going to support Ukraine, and we're going to do our part to support Ukraine. And this is how we're going to do it. We're banning all sales of Russian liquor in our liquor stores.
Oh, no.
Well, there goes all vodka.
Oh, my God.
So you're taking all the vodka off the shelves. That's...
Okay.
Only certain brands. Grey Goose is still going to be there, though.
That's how we're supporting Ukraine in Utah.
So what do they do with the other bottles of vodka? Like, can they just send them my way, or
the vodka has already been purchased? If it's already in the liquor stores, it's already been purchased. Just sell it.
Yeah.
And don't buy more.
Right.
It's just kind of.
Just tell them to send them my way. I'll. Don't worry. I know what to do with them. Okay?
Another thing I'd like to go off on that, Opal. What you bring up there, how they're doing that. Sell what you already have. Just don't import anymore. Right. That's the argument. That's another thing. A lot of truckers around here are talking about is the gas prices that are going to go up from this situation that we're seeing. And the bad thing is they're going to go up well before we're going to use up any of that Russian oil we've already bought.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like it ain't even got here yet, and the prices are already going up. So like that's fucked. Sense. Yeah, it don't make sense. That's fucked up. And like I said, we are only getting 8% of our oil from them.
Hey, well, I'll tell you what, them politicians will never let a good crisis go to waste.
No, they won't. No. They really fucking won't.
Well, that's what I was telling you about before in the message when I was talking to you, that even when we were doing the whole war with the Middle East, we get hardly any oil from Middle East. I mean, it's a small percentage compared to everywhere else, but for some reason our gas prices went way up, and they blamed it on, the war in the Middle East. And
yeah, it's like the fourth highest, but we get such a large percentage from Canada and Mexico that, like, you know what I'm saying? Like it is such a small percentage that we get from the Middle East, but we do get some from the Middle East.
Yeah, but not enough that it should be the cause of our gas prices doubling.
Agreed. Yeah.
Yeah, gas price shouldn't go up $1 because we are at war in the Middle East. I know.
No, the gas prices went up because of all the not sanctions. Fuck the what is it? What's the word? I've got sanctions on the fucking mind.
Right.
The regulations that the Democratic government is putting on the oil and gas industry.
Well,
like even in West Virginia alone, there's so much that in West Virginia and Pennsylvania. Like I can tell you from my past work experience that this is a great fucking area for directional drilling and getting oil. Like it's huge business right now. But because of like EPA and everything else and all these different laws that they're putting on, like you can't. It's not profitable. Even when it is over $110 a barrel, it's not fucking profitable. And when I was working at $85 a barrel is when it was profitable to frack. Okay. That's when it became profitable. Anything under that, they shut down.
You can frack off.
Yeah. And right now it's over. Let's check the price.
I just know in the last week alone that since I work at a gas station, our gas prices have actually gone up twice in the last week.
Right. And why? Why? Because we ain't used up that fucking Russian oil yet.
Exactly.
Yeah, $120 a barrel?
Hang on.
Oh, okay.
It's 91, 90.
I was getting ready to say, holy shit. It is spiking, though.
Yeah, you see the jump.
Fuck yeah.
But after it gets here, like where we live, Murph, it's over $100 a barrel to get it here.
Yeah.
And where it's processed here, there's two places that process it. One on the Ohio River, just west of me, actually. And for you, it would be down to Charleston. It's the closest place for you.
Yeah.
South Charleston.
That's what I was going to say, Charleston.
Yeah. And that's where they're shipped to. And it's over $110 a barrel for us to have that, which is nuts. There's too much going on. Get that off. Okay.
So, on top of all this, Putin has also said that he's willing to talk to the Ukrainian government about ending the war, but they have to come to Belarus to talk to him, and he doesn't recognize President Zelensky as a legitimate president. So it's really unclear who the fuck he wants to talk to then. If he
it's all a ploy to try to fish him out, is all it is.
Yeah.
I feel the same way.
That's stupid. And Zelensky would be fucking stupid to try that. Like, not stupid for trying to come to a diplomatic solution, but stupid if he goes there himself to talk to them. Yeah.
Zelensky has already made it known that he has no intentions of talking to Russia about anything. And for reasons, I'm not exactly sure why, because I didn't have the time to look into it, but he says that there's certain reasons that they won't go over to Belarus anyway, aside from the fact that that's one of the places that Russia invaded Ukraine from.
Belarus, yeah.
And Belarus. Belarus, however you say it.
Why did they want Chernobyl? Why did they fight over that?
I'm not exactly sure.
Is there something there that he wants?
I don't know.
I think.
Let's just be honest on Chernobyl. There's probably something hidden under all that stuff.
Well,
he would know because
secrets are hidden under all that.
Well, not only that,
I know if there was something there.
I think it's because of the strategic location.
That too.
Like I feel like that's a huge part of it. It's a huge staging area. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but it's still
irradiated.
Yeah.
Not like you guys think. Like
no. It's not as much. It's not as bad as it used to be.
Yeah, like inside the facility, the metal is very irradiated.
Super irradiated.
Still, like it is. But even the water and stuff like that, you're fine. Like you know, it's going to read higher radiations than normal. But like I watched these divers actually go into it, and like they came out and they went and got checked. They had no radiation spikes or nothing like that. So like it's not as bad as what it used to be. But from what I understand, anything metal that's in there is still like highly irradiated.
They'll have to block off all the metal.
Psycho Mask, resurrecting the Nazi.
Yeah,
is what you play. Yeah, I don't think they come from there though.
It'd be Russian zombies then. Yeah. But no, they'll probably block off metal parts of the facility.
Well, no, I don't think they're going in the facility. I think they're just using Chernobyl area as a staging
landscape.
area.
Yes, the landscape.
Well, plus I guess it's easy to conquer that area since it's empty.
Yeah. I mean, it's always empty.
Well, no, you guys are thinking about Chernobyl, the power station. Chernobyl is a lot bigger than that. Like the area around it. That's what they're after. And there's still fucking people that live there, bro. Like it's not completely empty. Like
but not a lot of people are living there.
There is a few amount of people there. Okay,
I'm just saying, like, how they give tours through the fucking Chernobyl site, but it's the fastest way to invade Russia because it's a straight shot. Yeah, that's what I was getting at. Is a strategic location, just like I said, just above Kyiv. It's a straight. It's what 30 minutes of a drive to the fucking border. It's. Yeah. Oh man, it is bad. There's an elephant foot. If that blows, it would be Chernobyl all over again. Elephant foot's not gonna blow. It's a fucking solid. It's like a solid mass. It's not gonna explode. It's a solid piece of. What do they call that? It's where everything that's melted came into one thing, and it's. They have a name for that material, but it's. Christina Games, look it up. Help me. Google that. The name of the material it's made out of. But it's irradiated and is slowly decaying. But yeah, that's the most heavily irradiated part in the entire place is what they call the elephant's foot, which is where the material leaked out and formed this fucking thing.
It formed a fucking thing.
Yeah, fucking thing. It looks like an elephant foot.
Okay.
Thing.
If you're within 10 meters, I think, of the elephant foot, which I may be wrong on the numbers, Opal will probably correct me if I am. But if
I'm watching the documentary on Chernobyl right now.
Okay, so if you're only allowed to be so close to it for like a certain amount of seconds, and if you're there longer, you're dead. Like that's how irradiated it is right now. But I don't think they're there. I think they're using the city.
The elephant's foot is a nickname given to a large mass of corium.
Yep, corium.
And other materials formed under the power plant when it
and corium
supernova.
Yeah, corium is not like a natural material. It is only formed from a nuclear meltdown. That's the only way it's ever formed.
It's nuclear waste.
It's not waste. It's the material that all melted down. Yeah.
It's primarily made of silicon dioxide, traces of uranium, titanium, zirconium, magnesium, graphite. It's
but it's solid. It's not going to like explode. It's a solid.
Became a liquid, then it all just solidified into one giant glob of shit. And it's like
speaking of radioactive,
she's not wrong. There's a big blob of shit.
I got history for you guys if you guys want to know.
Let's hear it. Then we gotta get back on topic.
Hiroshima and Nagasaki, the two places that we bombed, their radiation is actually at low levels now.
Yeah.
After 75 years.
Takes a minute.
Well, it's been what, like 30 something years since Chernobyl, so it hasn't been that long.
No, not yet, but that radiation wasn't as bad. I couldn't say it wasn't as bad because
radiation was a nuclear plant.
Yeah. It was a bomb compared to a nuclear bomb. A nuclear bomb compared to a nuclear plant, so.
I think the radiation from the nuclear plant was much greater than the bomb.
I would think so.
I don't know.
I think they said on the documentary that it was 15 times, but I'm not 100% sure.
Well, imagine that they were able to perfect it more and make it more powerful and,
Wait, I can't see it. I want to see the elephant foot.
I don't really know that much about enriching uranium, so I wouldn't be able to tell you.
Why is that guy standing by it?
Because he got a suit on.
To take a picture of it for us?
They studied it and tested it. I don't think that's 300 seconds. I don't think that's it's slowly decaying so you can spend more time around it, but I don't think that's accurate now. I think you can actually be there a little bit longer. How long is 300 seconds, Opal? You're not a math teacher.
Like 5 minutes.
Divide by 60.
You're not a math teacher.
It says that you could only be around it for 300 seconds in the immediate aftermath.
Yeah, in the immediate aftermath, spending 300 seconds.
That's what I thought, 5 minutes, yeah. Because I normally don't mess with seconds. I mess with milliseconds, but
But still, you think you don't want to spend very many seconds next to it because maybe it's not immediate death, but you're going to get cancer later on.
Right.
Yeah.
or leprosy, or
We'll save what radiation does to the body for another
It's
time.
gonna kill
That's
you.
something.
Extra fingers.
That's something I've actually studied a lot of.
I'd be okay with that.
That's something I studied a lot of, and I would be happy to share that with you guys at another time. But we're still on topic
might
of
need
politics.
to know about this.
We will.
might
So
need to know
next
about
week,
taking
I'll tell
my
you what.
iodine.
Next week, I will gladly explain all this to you guys. And
Because Putin's building nuclear stuff.
He's not building it. He already
Yeah.
had it.
He's getting more.
Whenever
He's
Ukraine
getting it from Chernobyl.
gave Russia or sold Russia their nuclear weapons in '94 so that he would dismantle them and they could have their sovereignty. Bullshit. He dismantled them. He did not. Motherfucker still got them.
Just like we got them.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're over there in the closet. Hold on, let me get one.
Speaking of radiation and stuff like that, another thing that President Vladimir Putin has done here recently is putting nuclear forces on high alert after aggressive statements by NATO and the West. And we're not exactly sure how to take that right now, except for we know that he's making nuclear weapons ready to launch right
17.
now, as of today, as of this morning. He's making all his nuclear weapons ready in response to NATO and us, the United States. And you guys in the UK and stuff like that in response to you. It's not just us. Now, Putin might have said that this whole thing started because of us talking about it, but he's the one that chose to go do it. You know what I mean? He chose to do this shit.
No, this has been planned for over 20 years, bro. Yeah. Like this isn't anything new.
No. And you know, China had warned Russia that we knew what he planned to do and we was coming out with it. We actually went to China to try to help them get Russia deterred from invading Ukraine, and the Chinese government turns around and said, hey, Russia, you know, these fuckers know what you're going to do already. Went and told on us. China went and told on us. Now, China's watching this whole thing go down, and I've had the question lurking in the back of my mind, what's this going to mean for Taiwan? You know, the biggest manufacturer of semiconductors that we get all our fucking semiconductors and shit from.
If you're trying to
what's this mean? And you have said too, Doc, that China says that what it wants to do with Taiwan and what Russia wants to do with Ukraine is two totally different things, right? Mm-hmm. But in reality, it's a very similar circumstance.
What Russia said, by the way, guys, if you want to see, I posted a link in chat. This will give you a full background of like the history between Ukraine and the whole Russia situation. This will kind of give you what led up to now. But
where are they now?
Well, we know where they're at now, but you know what led up to now. But no, what China was saying was that Taiwan is not Ukraine. Taiwan, their belief is Taiwan has always been part of China, you know, basically is what they're saying. Where Putin believes that they were given sovereignty unnecessarily, blah, 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 and, you know, like it should be part of Russia still, and there's still people there who believe it should be part of Russia, and blah, 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 blah. And when really that's been his plan since fucking early 90s. Like, and what China is going to do with Taiwan, what we see may be happening there, like all this is going to trigger something massive because the UN is going to do their thing.
Yeah.
And or not.
I believe the UN is going to do their thing, and it's going to turn into a nasty, nasty situation. Like I don't see it getting much better right away. This is
definitely this whole move has definitely brought in a new reality for the entire world on a global scale. The Chinese government has even made it clear that it will remain a strategic ally of Russia even after the invasion.
Yeah, so all these UN sanctions aren't going to do a fucking thing because China has the largest economic what's the word I'm looking for? You know what I'm saying?
Right. They're the leading economy right now.
There's a name for it. Fuck, what is it?
They're an economic powerhouse. They're an economic superpower.
ADHD.
But that's what I said too. Even with all these sanctions and taking Russian banks off of SWIFT and freezing assets, if Russia decides to turn to China for some financing, what's all freezing the assets and all that going to mean then? Nothing. It's going to mean nothing.
Yeah,
Russia and China, even way before all this happened, Russia and China have been talking about opening their own world bank and backing out of the dollar.
Yep.
That's been a real conversation they've been having for a few years now. So, and but there has been some talk in China about China wanting them to talk to Ukraine and find a peaceful way to get all this worked out. And but China sees this as an opportunity for this to mitigate some risk from U.S. poking their nose in what the hell they're doing and focusing on Russia. So China can say whatever they want to, but I feel like behind closed doors, they're cheering Putin on like, yeah, come on. Because if Putin successfully takes Ukraine and not a lot comes of it, then that means China can then turn and take Taiwan and not a lot's going to come of it. That you can't tell me that this is not how they're going to see it. Like, you can't convince me anything else. And then what's that going to mean for Korea, for North Korea and South Korea? What's that going to mean for Japan?
Yeah. Because Japan's not economically sound right now. They've been in a rough spot. It's been declining there for a minute.
Well, that's because they're the second biggest debt holder of U.S. debt.
Yeah, and
it's kind of our fault a little bit.
Yeah. But yeah, it's not gonna go away for a minute. Like, yeah, I don't see it getting good. But where were you going after that, Murph? Like, what were you going into after that?
Not much. I was going to start talking about the trucker convoys and COVID-19 mandates and stuff like that, because really that's about all the information that we have right now.
But I wanted to talk about the ghost.
Oh, yeah. The ghost. Yeah. Oh, I'll give you what I've found out about the ghost. I did promise that to you. I'm sorry. The ghost. Okay. I think at one point it was like he had shot down 5 MiGs. Through dogfights, and they've shown videos of it flying around, not necessarily fighting. I haven't seen any videos of it fighting, but they've shown videos of it flying around. But one thing I did see, this is where it trickles in with the stuff that I've been watching, is they were saying how even if this isn't real, it's almost like how in World War II they had stories of I can't think of his name, but the sniper who killed so many. They even made a movie about it.
Yeah,
I think.
The Russian sniper, the ghost of Russia.
No, he wasn't the ghost of Russia. It was something else. But you know what I'm talking about, right?
Well, I know what you're talking about. He wasn't called the ghost of Russia,
but it was for military morale. Yeah, like the officials wasn't going to stop the story or say yay or nay.
Right.
They were just going to let it go because it would improve the morale of the soldiers.
Right. They even made up a story saying that he fought the Germans' best sniper, and after 4 or 5 hours of waiting, the Russian sniper beat the German sniper. But there was no evidence saying that he actually killed him ever. So
right, but that's what they were saying. The same thing about the ghost is they don't know whether he's real or not. Blah, 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 blah. And I mean, to be honest, Ukraine has shit for an Air Force. All right. Yeah. So like for that to be real, I find it hard to believe, honestly, but it's possible.
Compared to the Russian Air Force, the Ukrainian Air Force is non-existent.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
I actually have something about that.
Okay.
Kind of leading into my little segment of, but the clip of the Ukrainian fighter jet blowing up the suspected Russian aircraft started trending on social media yesterday. Many believed it was proof of the exploits of a mysterious and unverified ace pilot called the Ghost of Kiev. It was actually fake footage from the 2013 PC game DCS, or Digital Combat Simulator.
Yep.
So that whole thing has been faked.
Well, right. Well, the whole video was fake.
Or at least
it was out before the video. That video clip they were trying to use to verify it. That was the story of the ghost of Ukraine
has been out forever.
It's been out since all this went down, but it inspired that fake ass video. And like I said, I feel like they're pushing this ghost thing to improve morale of the soldiers, which isn't bad strategy on the officials' part. But
it's a common strategy.
It's not bad.
Yeah,
it's a common strategy used by everyone.
Well, and they do have, I think it was six planes downed. So the planes are downed.
Which should be called a legendary.
One guy that was the ghost of whatever, whether there's one guy that shot them all down, the planes have been down. So
I will say this: the anti-air defense system that Ukraine has isn't bad. Like it's pretty good actually. But I did see a MiG, a video. I think they took it down from YouTube, but I think it was on Sky News. I think they had a clip of it. A MiG got hit with a anti-air missile. Hit, like not missed. It hit the fucking MiG, and it didn't stop it. Like, then they were explaining how they've improved the armor on these MiGs, and then after he got hit, you see him bursting out. What's it called, Murph? Help me out here. The little spark things that they throw out the back for the missiles.
Flares.
They throw out.
It's pretty much a diversion. It makes it for
because they're heat-seeking missiles, and they shoot out these flares at the back, and then
thermite.
It throws them off. But he starts busting those, flying around, and then but he did get hit by one and kept going. Like that shows you the power of a MiG, one, and two, they've had to have armored those up a little bit more. Like, but I think that's how those planes are getting shot down. Is that the video? Yeah, okay.
Caution, it is loud.
Yeah. Let me see if I can get
Be careful of your ear holes, guys.
What's ear holes? Ha
ha. What?
Yeah. Okay. Oh yeah, that's this one. Okay. Hang on. Where's the thing? Boop. Oh my God! Why is it doing it?
It doesn't like you.
You know what? DNA. You know
all right.
You know what? We're there. I'm getting there.
What? Why?
Why would it do that? What this one? What the fuck, man? There it is. Jesus.
He doesn't like you either.
All right. Fuck. Yeah, press play. This is the fake footage.
No, this is the real footage.
No, I don't think that's the real footage. No, that's not the one I was talking about. No, I'm pretty sure that's the fake footage, Christina.
So I found the list of planes. So it says it's a Ukrainian Fulcrum pilot, and the planes that are down are 2 Su-35s, 1 Su-27, 1 MiG-29, and 2 Su-25s.
Yeah, it says simulated in the title.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, this is it. Hang on. This is the one I'm talking about. I just had to find another copy of it because the one copy I had they took down. Which I don't know why. Because it's still on here, but there you go. See, there was the hit from anti-air, but then it starts dropping ordnance. And it kept flying after that. You'll see it again in a second. There it goes. I mean, it's on his cell phone, so it's kind of hard to see, but
yeah,
you see him popping
phosphorus.
Yeah, whatever they call it. There's a fucking name for it. I can't.
Thermite. I'm just gonna say thermite because that's. Thermite sounds like it would be used because of how hot thermite burns.
They call it flak, chafe. They call it different things.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the video I was talking about. That's the only video I've seen of actual airplanes taking any kind of damage. That's real. Now, I've seen where they've confirmed shot down a couple, and I've seen the aftermath of them after they hit the ground, but that I haven't seen. But it's kind of hard to get that kind of video, like legit. Mm-hmm. So, like, I haven't seen anything other than that. So I'm not going to say.
Like my TikTok news source, I've heard people from Ukraine talking about air-to-air combat.
Right.
That they've seen it, but there's not video of it.
Right. Yeah.
So there's got to be something like that going on.
Right.
But anyway.
Yeah. That's the ghost stuff.
That's the ghost stuff.
Yeah. That's as far as what I've learned about a ghost. I'm not saying it's not real. I'm just saying I truly doubt it with the state of the Ukrainian Air Force, especially after some of their Air Force bases have been bombarded the way they have. Just to be honest,
we'll see how that plays out because who knows?
Yeah, who knows?
But it is kind of a cool story.
It is a great story. Like that's one thing even Sky News said was like this is like movie making material, like behind that story. You know what I'm saying? Like. In the future, we'll see movies and stuff about this event, and we're definitely seeing history in the making. I hope that the children of today are watching and paying very close attention, and I hope that their parents are teaching them the right thing about this and giving them all the information about it because the schools are not going to. No offense, Opal, but you know what I mean? The history books will not tell the whole truth of this event. Just like go to a history book right now that is in school and look up anything about World War I and see how much detail it gives you. Look up
World War II
or World War II. They give a little bit more about it, but nothing.
Not as much as you need to know.
Right. Yeah. And those are which I've talked to Murph about this. Those are very important things to know. World War I in the Ottoman Empire and everything that was going on in Turkey. That is so important to even what's going on right there, right now, today in Ukraine. You guys, if you don't know about World War I, you need to fucking look it up and do some research on why they were fighting right there at the end of the Mediterranean. And you'll find out why Ukraine and Russia are still dealing with what they're dealing with today. Yeah, you will find out. 100-Year War is now a lot older than 100 years. I'll just say that. It's still going on. Yep. And it has nothing to do with religion.
It's not religion. It's not religion based.
Right now, schools are fighting against parents, and parents want to get rid of any mention of the Holocaust.
I will slap some parents.
Slap if that's the case.
The easiest way to repeat history is to forget about it.
Well, yeah, you don't
want the easiest way.
They want to get rid of anything that's going to make their kid feel bad.
What?
I want to bring up something that Ray Rez just posted, and Ray Rez has posted this in podcast chat. It said Poland has refused to play their World Cup qualifier against Russia, which could cost them their place in whatever the fuck that word is. Qatar, okay. Their belief is that it's more important to send a message than qualify. Credit to a lot of... Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, Poland is refusing to play their World Cup soccer match in Moscow.
Well, I would refuse to fucking go to Moscow right now, too. Fuck that, dude.
Russia invading Ukraine.
Yeah,
Poland saying, fuck this shit, we're not going.
Finland and Sweden is the ones that Putin had threatened if they joined NATO that he was going to attack them like he attacked Ukraine. I thought Poland's already a member of NATO.
I mean, I'm still going back to what Opal just said, that they're trying to stop kids from learning the Holocaust because they think that's gonna. What did you say? That's gonna mess them up or something, or make them feel bad? It's gonna hurt their feelings. That's not gonna hurt nobody. So that's gonna teach you what people did. That's gonna teach you what happened back then because of some dumbass thought he could fucking do whatever the fuck he wanted and see what happened to him. Like, it shouldn't make anybody feel bad. It should make you feel empowered to be like, okay, let's not have this happen again. Like,
well, we've talked about this before.
Yeah,
we're going backwards right now.
Yeah, we have. Backwards. Because the big thing is children should know the truth of an event. Because right now, our children are our future. No matter how many times we preach that or how many times we say that, it's the truth. They are our future, and if they don't know what's happened in the past, it's just going to happen again.
Yeah, okay.
Future leaders
of America. You can't learn from the mistakes of your ancestors if you don't know their fucking mistakes.
You are doomed to if you do not learn from what history is, you are doomed to repeat it.
Exactly, Winthor.
Well, there's a lot of people in America that just don't want to learn.
Yeah, teach them from our mistakes, our ancestors' mistakes, so that they can learn from that and not make them again. And like Opal said, teach them and let them lead the way. I totally agree with that.
I didn't say that. Whitney Houston did.
I mean, that's a scary thought that my son would ever lead the way. It's my future. You're going to change my diapers one day.
If it ain't on TikTok, it didn't happen.
Maybe depends.
that depends.
But really, our history is already watered down enough as it is, and history is usually told by the victor, so we don't get both sides of the story.
No, you never do.
It's kind of a mess that way. But when you're living it, the kids need to know to pay attention to it, and teachers are being told not to talk about anything political, even if it sucks, because I want the kids to be talking about it and to be thinking about it. I'm not trying to convince them one way or another.
No.
But because parents think that I'm indoctrinating kids, I am completely forbidden to talk about anything that has anything to do with politics at all, whether or not I'm, one side or the other. But kids need to talk about the shit that's going on in their world.
But not fear-mongering them. You don't want to do that. Like, that's what I feel like mainstream media is doing a lot of right now, is they're trying to put, they're fear-mongering. They're trying to put people in a state of fear right now. So, one, they'll forget about what the fuck's going on around us right now. And two, that keeps them wanting more from the media, basically. Yeah, they're constantly like, oh my God, what? And I know Murph's about to bring up like some of the shit that's going on around us right now that we're being distracted from because of this thing in Ukraine, which it needs its attention, but we also need to know our place in it and where we're at right now and not forget that. And plus our closest neighbor, Canada, and where they're at right now. There's
where else is Biden fucking up while
that shit ain't stopped. That shit ain't stopped up there. You know what I'm saying? Like, none of this shit stopped. Yeah, the Holocaust has nothing to do with politics. You're correct, Winthor.
But they're trying to make it.
They're trying to make it political, just like COVID was not political
virus. Exactly.
until they made it political. Right. Yes.
Fucking politics.
Fucking politics. That's right,
God
Opal.
damn it.
God damn it. Someone clip that shit. We got Opal saying all kinds of shit. We got her all fired up. Got Opal all fired up. I love it. Top dog.
I still feel the same way. War happens because politics has failed. That's the reason we go to war, because politics has failed.
Yeah.
Of course.
And every war is fought over bacon, so.
And who's bringing it home?
I mean,
Most of the time, yeah.
Well, whose bacon is better, the U.S. or Canadian?
Oh, Canadian.
how you doing, Top Dog?
Fuck you.
That's fine. I like Canadian bacon.
It's ham, okay? It's fucking ham.
I know it is. That's why I love it.
It all comes from a pig.
I know.
Just enjoy it all.
Different
Yeah.
parts of it.
I had bacon this morning.
Problem
Bacon
is-
and chicken with maple syrup on it.
But the problem is we have to go to war with Murph to get the ham off of his damn farm because he won't stay the hell away from a sheep.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to make a sweater.
He has a hairy sheep, not the wool sheep. That way it don't stick to him as bad.
Right.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
trying to make a sweater. I'm just trying to make a sweater real quick.
Yeah, for the summer months.
It's not bad. Syrup on bacon. Are you on crack? Dude. All right, Ray Rez. All right. I know you don't like peanut butter and
Hell
jelly
yeah.
sandwiches, and I know we're getting way off topic. I know we're getting way off topic. I'm going to stop after this. We're going to go back to it. But Ray Rez, I want you to try something. Okay, I want you to fry up some bacon. I want you to soak it in a little bit of maple syrup. True maple syrup.
Yeah.
I want you to put it on a croissant with a thing of fried chicken on top of that. No sauce needed, nothing
Making me
else.
hungry now.
Nothing else. You put it on that, sandwich it together, and I want you to fucking try it. Just try it. It is fucking heaven made, okay?
Twinnies buns.
So good.
Stick it maple meat Twinnies buns.
Yes, see, everyone's excited about. I'm telling you.
There's a waffle truck out here that does that. Only it's the bread is the waffles.
Yeah, we are. We are
shit.
top dog.
No, we're not. No, we're not. As of right now, okay, I can answer this one from one standpoint. I don't know if Murph has anything to add to it, Top Dog, but I'll give you what I've learned, what I've seen. Everyone is saying that no, we're not going to be fighting in Ukraine.
There will be no boots on the ground.
There will be no boots on the ground in Ukraine from anyone in NATO. Quote.
No.
Okay.
But they're in Poland.
But in the surrounding countries around Ukraine that are NATO countries, they are stacking up soldiers in all of them to make sure Putin stays in Ukraine if he does end up taking all of Ukraine. And if they're saying if there is one accidental shot fired into a NATO country, all of NATO is going to come down on Russia. So
Just cyber attacks a NATO country. Even that. If you hit the wrong button on the internet, we will come fuck you up.
That's what there's. Air support, Winthor. Okay, so check this out. This is something else that's been interesting about it. Is air support. Okay, they are getting air support from UK right now and Germany, but not combat air support. They're getting shipments of things dropped into them to support the combat,
The
and
ground
everything.
troops.
The ground troops. They're not. They're getting. Well, first off, from Germany, I think they got 1,000 helmets or some shit, or maybe it was a lot more than that.
5,000.
5,000 fucking helmets. Okay, they would not send any kind of offensive equipment. They only sent defensive, and they caught so much shit for it that now they're sending in anti-tank weapons and shit like that. They're like, "Are you fucking kidding me, you German bastards?" It's like, you're just sending fucking helmets. What the fuck, Like,
all right. We'll send you other stuff. Okay. Jeez.
yeah, that just changed, Gwynthor. It did. But then
sent shower curtains.
posting air traffic over, and there's U.S. drones. Yeah, but there's nothing offensive yet. The aircraft and stuff. But it's weird how the fly zones and stuff work Like that's a whole different thing. Yeah, which I honestly,
it would be a whole nother topic to cover that.
Yeah, I believe so, Gwenthor, which I really don't understand the no-fly zones and stuff like that with countries and how that's working right now. Like, I don't comprehend that well. Like, I honestly just don't know. It's not a topic I'm very familiar with. But I will say that that's what the UN and the other countries have been talking about. I've been watching news networks from all these other countries, if they're available to us. I try to share them all in the podcast chat. If you haven't done already, just join the Discord, read our podcast chat. You can find a Discord by doing that thing. Shameless plug. Yes. Booyah. But you can check out our podcast chat there. Murph is super active in it. Milkshake and him have been going back and forth with solid debates and questions back and forth throughout the podcast over the past couple of days. A lot of information being slung around there. You guys need to check that out if you are interested.
Yeah, I think we're on the same page for the most part.
Right. To me, debating is different than arguing.
Debating
is almost like a form of learning, in my opinion, when you have a good, educated debate.
Discourse. Yeah.
It's learning with sharp words.
Opal taught me that.
Debating is learning with sharp words.
A couple podcasts ago. She taught me that.
That's right.
Yeah, we're sending troops
we
in
need to have
neighboring
more of that.
countries.
Yeah. Which is, it's all in good fun of the debate. I'm not mad at Milkshake for any of it. I'm sure. I mean, I don't know him personally or anything, but I would like to think that he's not mad at me about any of it either. It's just we're just throwing it out there and saying how we feel.
I think if we do get into it with Russia, it's not happening there. It's coming home to U.S. I don't think it's going to be.
No,
I don't think it's going to be in one place. Period.
Disagree.
Yeah. I don't think it'll be here.
Disagree. The only way that it's going to touch American soil is if they shoot a fucking nuke, because Russia's got a bunch of them, and they could possibly hit DC with some nukes. But I don't see boots on the ground in the States. They would have to get through the NATO countries first.
Not only that, like there's a couple things like we need to take in mind with this. Okay, one is cyber attacks. Okay, that's one way they can attack us on our soil, I guess, if you want to be technical. The other way is I can't think what they're called. Basically missiles that they can send into space and drop down, like that are hypersonic, and our defenses can't stop that. Okay, but they probably don't have enough of those to be focused on the U.S. too much, other than maybe key areas. But the UN and all those UN countries being that close, they're gonna have the brunt of the problem. What we need to worry about in that case is China, in my opinion, because I feel like if that starts with Russia,
China is a crouching tiger right now.
Yeah, well,
we get into it with Russia, China's gonna open the back door and just come in and fuck us up.
Yeah, and you don't want China in your back door.
I don't.
China's our biggest threat right now. That's our biggest threat.
She don't want China in her back door.
She wants anybody in her back.
Yeah, the Alaskan border. Yeah, you can literally see Russia from Alaska. I mean, you can literally see it. They're a lot closer than you think they are. Yes, totally agree with that. And I feel like the state of most of the bigger countries in the world right now is not in a good enough place and a strong enough place to be able to really organize well enough to fight anything like that off.
Yeah, well, I think that's one of the reasons they're moving
like they are.
That Russia's not gonna move on Alaska and try to invade us through Alaska and split its forces and let NATO come in its back door.
Yeah, because Russia, to go across Siberia, basically, they're going to split their forces so much. No, they're not going to worry about that. China's right there, bro. They're backing them. You know that. They don't have far to go either.
China has not been moot about how much it supports Russia. It's not said nothing. China's been very verbal about them still supporting Russia strategically and economically. They're not shy about their standpoint on it. They're also not shy about how they do not like how the United States is threatening their sovereignty. They feel like China feels like the United States is threatening their sovereignty as a country by not recognizing that Taiwan and stuff is part of China. So, I mean, this is a big back and forth debate right now on the whole world stage. And the stuff with Russia and Ukraine is just making it more evident how China feels about it.
North Korea hasn't been more quiet than they usually are. It's just mainstream media isn't telling you anything about them. That's the only thing.
That's because Korea doesn't let anything get out of the country.
Yeah. Once you're in there, you're in there.
I mean, I've watched.
Korea doesn't let anything.
I watched a documentary of the snowboarder that actually got a pass to go into North Korea and snowboard on these special slopes that they've got, and the way they treated him, like while he was there, like they didn't do anything bad to him, but he had so many rules he had to follow, like so many things he had to do, and like
I'm talking about either, was he?
No, he had these two guides. Okay, one of them I guess wasn't just to show him around or whatever. The other one was a translator. Okay, so he had two people with him all the time, no matter where the fuck he went until he went to his room. They were with him all the fucking time. And
you can bet they're in his room too.
Well, I mean, they probably are,
whatever.
but yes, Big Brother is.
Yeah, he's probably being watched. He's probably being watched for sure.
Once
Probably
you're in there, you're in
bathroom.
there. Once you're in there, you're in there. Yeah.
Yep. No.
I already said that
one.
though.
And he's making that his life quote.
Once you're in there, you're in there.
Yeah. That reminds me of the old Omni interviews that we used to do. Like, what's your favorite quote?
Yeah.
Yes.
Science is once you're in there, you're in there. Okay.
Yep. Once you're in there, you're in there.
Mine is you don't want China in your back door. Got him.
As long as Taco Bell is coming out, you don't want China going in.
Ooh.
No.
But yeah. Ooh. What is going on here? What's this?
I don't know.
Oh, videos.
Yeah, Opal's is bend the knee, fucker.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That was a great one. I loved it.
Yes.
Or this one.
Fucker.
There's two. Oh my God. Let's see how fast we can do it. Everyone, let's spin the points all at once. Everyone buy the fucker. We'll count it down. 3, 2, 1.
Fucker.
What do we count now?
There's so many fuckers on screen. That was great.
It's the final countdown.
Fucker.
All these fuckers.
Fuckers everywhere.
Fuckers are everywhere.
Damn, I love these fuckers.
Fucker.
Bear fuckers too. Oh my God. So many fuckers. Hello, motherfucker. Oh my God. Oh my God, what's going on? Oh, and happy birthday, Brandon.
Oh my God, that one is
Happy birthday, Brandon. You still watching?
Oh, we'll stop.
We're gonna turn that down. I'll leave it up on screen now, just for Brandon.
Down for what?
I'm glad I can't hear it.
Yeah, same.
That is awful.
Oh wait, yeah. There's a.
Bad enough I gotta watch her dance to it, but.
Hey, have you guys seen the Deets Nuts commercial?
Oh boy.
God.
We'll save that for later.
Save that for next time.
Yeah. Moving on. Yeah. Unless you guys want to see a funny video.
Are we done with the political podcast?
I don't think so. I was just waiting.
Well, let's just keep going then.
Yeah.
The way they.
So?
Yeah.
In other news, aside from what's going on with Russia and Ukraine and all that hoopla, there's still a lot going on with Canada and the trucker convoys. Actually, I don't know how long ago it was. Let's see, just a few days ago, February 21st. There was a 3-day operation where Ottawa police deployed pepper spray, stun grenades, and other measures to disperse crowds, towed away 70 vehicles, arrested 191 people, and brought 389 charges against 103 of them.
Damn.
Yeah, they froze 206 bank accounts, stopped the cryptocurrency from coming into the truckers, all this. You know what I mean? All of this in the wake of. Go ahead.
Wait a minute. They're protesting COVID.
Yes,
like
they're protesting.
Stuff?
Yeah, they're protesting COVID stuff.
Mandates.
But COVID's gone now.
No. Yes.
No. Not according to their government.
It's well, not according to Justin Trudeau. I mean Adolf Trudeau.
Oh.
Yeah, Adolf Trudeau, not Justin Trudeau. Come on now.
Not according to Adolf Trudeau. It's not gone.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, I mean, we have seen such a dramatic increase, even here in West Virginia. They're talking about getting rid of mask mandates.
Yep,
already have in school.
Oh, we have not had mask mandates.
The 28th, actually, tomorrow is when mask mandates are done.
I think. Ian, they do away with masks at school yet? Yep. That's a yes then. I didn't need all that other explanation.
We haven't had masks in school this entire school year.
Jesus.
And even the CDC is loosening up COVID-19 mask guideline or guidance.
Yeah, because they lied, and now everyone's distracted by Ukraine, and they can ease that shit away. And be like, oh, maybe they'll forget that we did all this.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And nobody's even talking about Robert Malone, one of the founders of the mRNA platform that they use for the vaccine. Robert Malone said...
with Robert Malone?
Yeah. Dr. Robert Malone?
Yeah. Yeah, see, he's the one that got Joe Rogan all kind of shit for having him on the show.
Yeah. He's the one...
That guy?
Yeah, it was that guy. Because he brought Dr. Robert Malone on Joe Rogan, and Dr. Robert Malone said
spilled the beans on that.
Yeah, he spilled the beans. He said that the study that Pfizer and Moderna did that said that the mRNA SNAP proteins were gone out of the body in a few weeks. The SNAP proteins actually stay in your body 60 days or longer and actually damages the respiratory system and makes you more susceptible to the virus. Actually, and then they said that was misinformation. Spotify, somebody come down on Spotify and said that that's misinformation. Joe Rogan is peddling misinformation on his platform, and they need to get rid of him. That's when the fucking proverbial hammer came down on Joe Rogan when he had Dr. Robert Malone on his podcast.
Yeah. Ray Rez said he could spit on people freely now with no mask mandates.
Yes,
I'd like to mention
now spit on people.
That Ray Rez is a master chef. And
actually, you don't want to spit on them. Gleek. You should gleek on them.
Just spit on their food. It'll be fine.
Bonnie Hunter, thank you for the follow. This is Ray Rez right here. This is an actual footage of Ray Rez cooking.
I got
master plater.
God, it's so good. It's so good. So good and tasty.
Are you sure that's Ray Rez?
Yeah, absolutely. I found it.
Oh God!
Play it one more time, just in case you guys missed it.
So good. So good and tasty.
Yep, just wanted you guys to see that.
God, it's so good.
Now the trucker convoy the trucker convoy in the United States, they said that for one part of the convoy, like in Nevada and stuff, they didn't have enough trucks show up. There was only 5 trucks that showed up for that convoy. And the convoy they're trying to get into D.C. by March is on delay because there might not even be a reason for the convoy to be together because everything COVID is going away right now. And with everything that's going on in Ukraine and Russia and all this other stuff behind the scenes with COVID, what's going on while that's going on is COVID's disappearing while the crisis in Ukraine is appearing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's distracting. It's a lot of sleight of hand.
Right.
Yeah.
It's been happening for always.
Yeah,
they've been doing this. This trick has been.
But I don't want people to forget about
There's nothing up
Dr.
this sleeve.
Fauci, Wuhan, and where all that bullshit came from. Even amongst all this other shit that's going on, I don't want people to forget about that motherfucker and what he deserves and how it all began. You know, like I don't want people to forget about that.
It's already been said that it is known that Dr. Fauci lied to Congress when he said that they were not doing gain-of-function research for viruses in the Wuhan lab. It has now been seen through his financial statements that he did indeed fund gain-of-function research. Dr. Fauci himself funded,
but
paid to fund gain-of-function research at the Wuhan Institute.
When they released that, the documents, what's it called when they black out the shit? Redacted, yeah.
It's a redaction.
Yeah, there was a lot of it that was redacted, and like it made no sense. So much of it was redacted, like you could not make heads or tails of that document. And
it's the same thing they did in the black book for Epstein.
Yeah, exactly. Epstein's black book. There's so much redacted in that motherfucker. Like I feel like people should have the right to know both fucking things, full detail. It shouldn't fucking matter. Nothing should be redacted in that shit.
Right.
People.
But the reality is you only get to know what the government wants you to know, or the court system, which is still a branch of the government.
Yeah. Top dog, I'm sorry for your loss, and I totally fucking agree. The ones who are responsible for any of this do need to burn in fucking hell. Actually, burn in fucking reality, in my opinion.
Well, and
here.
that's what I said.
Like they should burn here.
It bothers me, and that's the reason I said I wasn't going to get the vaccine. It's not that I'm an anti-vax or anything, but until I can see a production of some long-term side effects, till I can see data on long-term side effects of the vaccine, I'm not going to take it. And there's only one way that you can have long-term side effect data come about, and that's that you have to see what the long-term side effects are. And the only way we're going to be able to do that is to wait and see what happens to people that took it.
Well, you'll find out from me.
Right. Like I was going to say, half our cast has been, half our cast hasn't, and I will not ever get it, and because I am anti-vax in every aspect. I don't care if it's smallpox. I don't give a fuck what it is. I'm anti-vax. Right. If it comes from the government, then that means I'm anti-vax. But I know that Opal has had her vaccines. Given she talked about it. I'll let you rephrase it if you want, but she got it because of her line of work and how many people she's around. And I remember DNA. He had to get it for the job he had. For the
job he had.
Yeah. But see, one of the big things mainstream media was doing was trying to get people to like argue and fight and discriminate against each other for not having it or having it. And like I am anti-vax, but I would never judge Opal or DNA what they do in their fucking personal life, period. I don't care what it is. That is their personal choice. And it should be. And that's what I think the whole trucker thing, that's why I loved what they were doing, because they were saying the same fucking thing. Like what we do, what we put in our bodies is our fucking choice. You're not going to tell us we have to do this. And that,
And at the very most, or at the very least, depending on how you want to look at it, but like at the least, it should be a conversation between you and your doctor, not a conversation between you and your government about what you put in your body. That should be a conversation you have with your doctor. Because the government making mandates on a vaccine doesn't take into consideration if somebody has suffered side effects from something that's in that vaccine or whatever. Your doctor's going to know. if that vaccine is going to be good for you or not, because your doctor knows what you're allergic to. Your doctor knows what you can take into your body. Your government don't, right? Your physician or your doctor does. So it should be a conversation you have with your doctor. If you even have insurance to afford a doctor.
Right.
I mean, my thing is with all that is, it's like what Doc said. It's your body. Do whatever you want. I will never bash anybody for being a non-vaccine person. Like, doesn't want to take any vaccines. Okay, that's fine. It's what you want to do. I won't tell you that you're wrong, and I won't tell you that you need to do something different. That's what you want to do. Then do it. Like, I've always been a firm believer of like, whatever you want to do with your body, you do it. That's your decision. Fuck it. I ain't gonna tell you how to do anything with it.
Yeah, exactly. But that's what mainstream media was trying to cause. Before that, it was a huge racism thing that doesn't exist anymore unless they're making it. And then, I got to be careful talking on Twitch about that one. But then, then the feminist thing, like that doesn't exist unless people make it. And it's oh my gosh, like they're trying to split
of all that,
everyone.
I don't know how true this is because I haven't had the opportunity to look into it, but I know my old lady was telling me that she had found out from people on TikTok that in the state of Texas now, it's illegal to say the word gay in school.
That's gay.
Right? Yeah. Can you Google check me on that, Doc? Can you fact check me on that?
I've heard that.
You did heard that?
I have heard it, but I don't know, like, if it's a fact or not.
Yeah, which is fucked up because how are you taking freedom of speech away from people?
Well, in school, you don't have freedom
Look
of
at Canada. They're doing it.
And this is what I don't understand either. How can you not have freedom of speech in school?
Look at Russia. They're doing it.
Right. Well, Russia's not America.
I know, but but I'm just saying, like, look at all these places, even Kazakhstan. Like, look at them. They're not getting freedom of speech.
I still don't understand how you can take freedom of speech away from kids in America when after President Bill Clinton, all kids were given rights kids were no longer seen as property of their parents. They now have constitutional rights after
They're
Bill
property
Clinton.
of the state.
No,
Once you sign a birth certificate.
They have their own constitutional rights.
I know. I was just messing with you, bro.
No, that's what they told us when they told us we had to take down anything that had a rainbow on it, which most of us didn't listen to that anyway. But I can get in trouble if we have any kind of pride flag or anything up in our classroom. We don't get free speech like that, so we have to take it all down.
And that's what I'm saying. That's suppressing people's freedom of speech to do things like that. And I don't understand how that's legally possible.
Well, we were told there's no free speech at school. That's what we're told.
Yeah, that's the same concept as where I work. I cannot go on strike. I could see jail time because I'm under contract with the federal government. I cannot.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, exactly. You're under contract as well, which you explained a couple weeks ago on the podcast because I didn't know that until you explained it. So, no, none of us are truly free, Ray-Rez.
You could quit your job and get out of the contract.
If I was free, what's that line from Demolition Man? Have you guys ever seen that movie?
Yes.
There's a fucking line from that movie. Let me look it up. It's great. Go ahead and continue.
What's it about?
Our founding fathers said it best, I think. A freedom is not really a freedom unless you're actively fighting for it. There are no free freedoms. They were all earned in blood anyway, and it'll take an earning of blood to keep them. You don't have it. Look, you don't have a freedom if you're not fighting for it, right? You have the freedom of speech, right? The First Amendment, you have the freedom of speech at any given time. But when a police officer tells you to shut up or you're going to get arrested, do you still have the freedom of speech?
Yes.
You can say yes or no. You can say no if you're going to shut up and do what the police officer says so you don't get arrested, it'll be no for you. But if you're going to keep saying whatever the hell you want to say in the face of being arrested, because the police are legally allowed to lie to you after a 1969 Supreme Court case, which is Frazier versus Cupp with 2 P's. It's up to the person. Are you willing to fight for that freedom, or are you willing to give it up for security? It goes back to you as a person, as an American. Do you have the gumption to fight for your freedom, or will you give your freedom up for security?
Right. It's extortion.
So at school, it's more that they're wanting us to not offend anyone. Everyone's so easily offended these days.
People are
which is
soft.
why we can't say anything or have anything. But like what you were just saying, Murph, sure, we'll take down the pride flags. As teachers, we're just wanting to let every kid know that they're safe and welcome in our classrooms. So sure, we'll take down a pride flag, but I didn't take down any of the other stuff. So I still have, we'll wear little rainbow heart pins. We'll still do that kind of stuff because we're not willing to say.
It's like a micro protest.
Yeah. It's like micro rebellion.
We can't do much else, but we can do what we can. We're going to push it to where we can.
Right.
Just get various color chalk or markers and put them up on the whiteboards.
And don't worry, Ray, I'm not calling you an American.
We'll get the flag down, but you can't. It's just fucking markers.
It's markers. Yep.
Don't worry, Ray Rez. I'm not calling you an American. I was saying that towards Americans, towards other Americans that are watching.
Yeah. Guys,
if you're not from America, you can exclude yourself from what I said.
Turn the stream volumes up so you guys can hear this real quick. It's a 36-second video.
Okay.
And
I got to take a leak real quick.
Yeah, go ahead. Man, you piss a lot.
Yeah, I drink a lot.
I'm just fucking with you, bro. Go ahead. Let's time him. Anyone timing him? Because I wanted him to hear this too.
Yeah.
Ian! Are you timing him? Huh? Nothing. I was messing with you. 3 hours later.
1 eternity later.
2 eternities later.
So long, the narrator quit and got another narrator to do this job.
Yeah.
Speaking of classrooms and trying to make my classroom a safe space, I got a note from one of my students on Friday. And in the note, he said,
yes,
thank you to me for having a safe classroom, and that
who did
one of my students.
Oh.
And he said that he was absent for 2 weeks, like last month.
Mm-hmm.
And he said the reason he was absent was because he attempted suicide, and he wanted to let me know that my classroom was one of the places that he felt he could be safe. And that was pretty awesome.
Yeah. I mean, it's suicide, something is pretty close to home for me. And for a child to be in a situation where they feel like that's an option, that's big. If he's saying that he's got a safe place around you, that's huge.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
All right, Murph, we were waiting on you. I'm going to play this video for you if you got the volume up on the stream.
See, according to Cocteau's plan, I'm the enemy because I like to think. I like to read. I'm into freedom of speech and freedom of choice. I'm the kind of guy who likes to sit in a greasy spoon and wonder, gee, should I have the T-bone steak or the jumbo rack of barbecue ribs with the side order gravy fries? I want high cholesterol. I want to eat bacon and butter and buckets of cheese, okay? I want to smoke a Cuban cigar the size of Cincinnati in the non-smoking section. I want to run through the streets naked with green jello all over my body reading Playboy magazine. Why? Because I suddenly might feel the need to, okay, pal? I've seen the future. You know what it is? It's a 47-year-old virgin sitting around in his beige pajamas drinking a banana broccoli shake singing, I'm an Oscar Mayer wiener.
That's one of the greatest lines that I've heard in a movie. That's pretty fucking accurate, even though it's in a fictional movie, you know.
Yep.
But that's definitely one of those that if you believe you're free, You know, think about that. Can you do what that guy just said? Can you? You're not free.
I love the part where you
What's up,
said
Sick
the green jello.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite parts. Covered in green jello, reading a Playboy magazine, running down the street naked. Yeah.
Dude, because I suddenly feel the earth.
Right. Sick
I consider myself free. I consider myself free to do whatever it is I want to do. I guess it's your perspective.
Yep.
I mean,
I'm
I'm free to do
You're also choosing the consequences of that choice.
I'm free to do whatever I want in my household. Right, honey?
Exactly. Yeah, I wear the pants in my house. She just tells me which ones I can wear.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. That's the way it goes.
I answer to no one but myself.
Yeah, but myself still thinks about what she would say if I did something. Yeah. Myself still thinks of the consequences of my actions. If I were to do a certain thing.
Yeah.
I mean, if I really wanted to do anything in particular that would even piss her off, I would still do it because I would really want to do it. But I would still think about it first. be like, are the consequences worth it? Do I really want this? Nope. Okay. What do I need though? Okay, I'll go do that. Yeah, I have a big thing between wants and needs. Like I'm very adamant about if I need something, yes. If I want it, I forget about it. Actually,
you're also talking to a guy who wore a T-shirt that says "Who polices the police" on the front and says "We do" on the back, and handed out constitutional right pamphlets from the ACLU in front of the courthouse and the police station in Fayetteville.
Right. Yeah, you told me that story. That was that was fucking nuts, bro.
Yeah, because I'm free and I'll do what I want and I'll say what I want to whoever I want whenever I want to. And like I said, that's a perspective.
Right.
A freedom is only a freedom if you're actively fighting for it.
Right.
And I'm that motherfucker.
And we as Americans have already gave up so many freedoms.
We have
without even thinking about it.
Yes. We have given up too many. Too damn many.
To where our government has the balls, the audacity to mandate us put something in our bodies.
Right.
And then want to say that we're being ridiculous because we don't want to do it. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, that's fucked up, bro. Like, it is so twisted. It is so twisted the way that they treat us. It's so fucked up, bro. So fucked up. Which I ain't got to tell you guys that. You guys already knew that.
Right. But I will say that we as Americans are a lot more free than a lot of other people in a lot of other countries. I can't think of another country off the top of my head that has more freedoms than we do.
Freedoms that are actually governed. Yeah. Yeah, like... sorry, I was just reading what Christina posted in chat. Yeah, like, I mean, there's places that are tribal that I would believe would be freer than what we are, but they haven't given up their freedoms to a government.
I mean, I'm going to say maybe people on Indian reservations have more freedoms than we do, but I mean, to some degree, you could even challenge that.
Yeah, because they're on a fucking reservation.
Yeah. Yeah,
I mean, I knew where you were going with it, but yeah, like ultimately, they're not either. You know, like they're on a reservation because of some fucking assholes. You know, like it's. But the thing is, like, we give up our freedoms, like you were saying earlier, for securities. And a lot of times it's false fucking security. Right. Like, that's the sad part.
A false sense of security.
Yeah.
Oh. That's not necessarily true.
Yes, it is.
Hey, everyone. This is what I learned in my years. Everyone is beautiful in their own way.
Absolutely.
So never let anybody tell you you're not, because
even Murph is beautiful in his own way.
Murph is sexy as fuck.
Even Doc
Look at
is
that.
beautiful. Okay.
Hey now, hey! Don't you put that evil on me? Don't you put that fucking evil on me?
That's not beautiful, but never mind.
At least
I'll
the
stop
sheep
talking
think I'm
about it.
handsome.
Yeah, I like Murph sheep. They are fucking beautiful. Not the old ones. They're no, but yeah, the other ones.
Bad
Yeah,
looking either.
they're not bad. They're nice and soft. Oh gosh.
They're cottony soft.
You got anything else, Murph? Got any, where else we going?
Well,
You're all beautiful. Thank you,
Murph,
Betrayal.
I do have a question for you, Murph. Are the sheep that you have from northern areas?
They don't identify as being from the northern areas.
The only reason why I was asking was because I was wondering if they were quilted northerns.
Do you prefer your sheep cut or uncut? Uncut. Duh. Come on, Ray Rez. You should know the answer to that one.
Uncut.
Yeah.
I want them all natural.
Nice and hairy.
That's
Oh,
right.
what a turn! What a turn!
Yeah. Where did we go with that? How did it get here?
I feel like you need your sheep shorn.
Say that 5 times real fast, Opal. Do it. Say you should have your sheep shorn 5 times real
You should
fast,
have your
Opal.
sheep shorn. You should have your sheep shorn. You should have your sheep shorn.
I
you
wanted
should have
Opal
your
to do
sheep
it.
shorn. I only did it 4
Opal's not
times.
gonna do it.
Oh, come on, Opal. Where's the fun in that?
I just thought it would be fun that I said it in the first place.
It was, but I wanted to hear you say it more. Just like fucker.
Yeah, fucker.
But now you can make me say that whenever you want.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things I can make you
Taking away
say.
my freedom, fucker.
So did Christina Games get to talk about her segment?
Not yet. That's why I was asking if you had anything
better
else.
do that. Fucker.
No, I don't have anything else. I think that covers it.
We're spamming fuckers right now.
Fucker.
Yeah, mine's gonna be really, really short.
Fucker.
Yep. I just wanted to touch on the
Fucker.
Canadian truckers and how they all fucking got mass arrested and
Fucker.
pepper sprayed and tasered and fucking
Stomped by horses.
I'm sure you did one.
Fucking
horses.
trampled by horses.
Right, like all kind of fucked up. But nobody really cares because Russia invaded Ukraine.
I'm sure you did want to touch on the Canadian truckers.
I did.
Only the ones hauling sheep.
Yeah.
Livestock one. Murph's hitchhiking. He's back in the trailer. Sound as a pound and warm as can be.
My fair share of hitchhiking.
Yeah.
He's on the livestock train.
Oh yeah.